Hello, welcome to my presentation. So the article that I'm referencing is in regards to an art program called the Art Room. The title is an evaluation of a targeted school-based group intervention for students with emotional and behavioral difficulties. This article was found in the Journal of Arts and Psychotherapy. So the direction or rationale for this article was to quantitatively evaluate the art program that has already been implemented in 7 schools across the UK. In the past, this program's been qualitatively studied, but it has never been quantitatively studied. So that was the direction of this paper. The research question was, can the art room intervention in schools improve students' social, emotional, and behavior problems and promote prosocial behavior during school time? So an overview of the art room. The program was designed as an art-based early intervention to help children having difficulty in the school environment. Difficulty could take the form of social, emotional, or behavior problems. Children's age ranged from 5 to 16, and referrals to the program were made by teachers and school support staff. It focused on at-risk children, and they were recommended to the program to either divert them from further school exclusion, or they were identified as having one or more of the following: difficulties with family, friends, or peers, bereavement, learning difficulties, or immigration. Symptoms tended to include a lot of students that were overly disruptive or overly withdrawn. The program's aim was to build social skills, confidence, well-being, independence, and life skills. And the goal was to help students successfully re-engage within the school and home environment and ideally transform lives. So as I mentioned, the history of the art room has been implemented in 7 schools across the UK. It's treated over 1,000 students. All staff in the art room programs are trained in psychotherapy, art, or social work. They must partake in an additional 10-week program, a 10-week training program prior to starting, and all staff are required to partake in supervision. So the design of the art room is each student has structured weekly time slots of 2 hours. The location is in an empty room that's always set up as an art room. The program takes place during the days, and the length is between 10 and 16 weeks. It has a small adult to student ratio, 2 to 3 adults to 10 students. And the rationale behind the creation of the program was that psychological problems negatively impact a child's ability to reach their potential. Having an intervention reduces exclusion, and interventions can help improve classroom disruption. Previous interventions have shown that, or previous research has shown that early interventions improve social and emotional health. As well, the majority of students with mental health concerns do not access mental health services, so having an art room program in the school is very beneficial. The methodology for this study relied on quantitative evaluations on the impact of the art room on students' emotional behavior problems. Data was collected through questionnaires related to psychological functioning and behavioral symptoms. Teachers completed a questionnaire and students completed a questionnaire, but there were 2 different ones. The teachers' questionnaire was called Strengths and Difficulties. It had 25 questions relating to emotional and behavior problems, and the students completed a questionnaire called the Short Moods and Feeling Questionnaire, and it had 8 questions. Now the analysis took place with data from before and after the art intervention. Teacher data was further broken down into categories of abnormal, borderline, and normal, and the data was classified for an impact score. Student data was found significant if they scored higher than 5. There was 169 participants that were evaluated in this study, although 430 questionnaires were submitted. Many were removed due to incomplete data. The results, students showed improvements in all emotional, social, and behavioral concerns except related to conduct disorders. The students' self-reports found significant improvements in self-esteem and a 87% improvement in depressive symptoms. Additionally, the art room intervention had a positive impact on both students and teachers overall. There were significant results: 36% reduction in total difficulties, 33% reduction in hyperactivity, 41% reduction in peer problems, 23% improvement in positive prosocial behavior. Conduct behavior was not significant. There was no change. But the criteria for clinical concerns reduced by 43% after this intervention. So overall, it was a very successful program and is a successful program. Limitations, evaluations were based on a single report measure, lack of a comparison group, varied enrollment time with participants, lack of direct interviews with students, lack of evaluation of school academic outcomes, and lack of parental reports. So that was a really interesting article to read because it lends itself nicely to my idea of my thesis direction. So I would like to design an after-school art therapy program for students. And additionally, I would like to link it to a pre-existing after-school program. My research question will be, can an after-school art therapy program improve classroom behavior for students struggling with social, emotional, and mental well-being? Now, a quick rationale behind why I wanted to do it after school is going through the research. There weren't many art therapy programs that were offered after school, and I didn't find any that had linked it with a pre-existing after-school program. After school helps working families, and if you link it with an after-school program, the children can be filtered into their pre-existing after-school care and for parental pickup. One of the major concerns with having an after-school program is transportation and attendance. So if I link it to that program, I can ensure that the participants will be there and the parents have already arranged to pick up their child. So to me that makes a lot of sense. Having a program after school versus in school would also help reduce the stigma associated with being pulled out of class, which could create anxiety. And I think maybe if the anxiety is lessened, then the group will be more able to focus on art therapy and foster greater change. Anyway, I'm going to upload my PowerPoint presentation that I made describing my thesis direction, so it is more detailed in there. I have a sore throat and I'm probably over my 5 minutes, but thanks you for listening. Thanks for your feedback.